Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Real Film Talk. My name is Will Bronlick. Now sit back, grab some snacks, and enjoy the review. Today, we'll be reviewing the latest movie featuring those darn dirty apes. We'll be looking at Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Here is my reaction for the trailer. Alright, now let's dive into the mystical world of those dirty apes. I can't say the actual phrase because I just found out my students watched this. So yes, this is what Mr. Bronlick does outside of school. Now quit watching this review, you have homework to do. And for any of my coworkers who might be watching this, hi, how you doing? Now quit watching this review, you have homework to grade. Anyways, let's take a look at Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Are you familiar with the concept of evolution?
Yeah, I know, Pokemon. Who doesn't know that?
In their time, humans were capable of many great things. They could fly like eagles fly. They could speak across oceans.
Well,
But now it is our time. And it is my kingdom.
I'm guessing that's our villain, I suppose. I don't know.
Apes will learn. I will learn.
Okay,
And
I'm interested.
will conquer.
Run!
Legend says ape and human
Raka!
live side by side. Impossible as that may seem.
Why do they hunt her?
She's smarter than most.
The elders did not tell us everything about this
Is
world.
this gonna be like the whole liar reveal thing where they feel like they know what's going on, but really it's not? I don't know.
Apes hunt humans. That is wrong.
Oh, is she gonna make it? Is she gonna make it? So much fire, it's...
Together,
I don't know.
you will die.
No, together, strong.
Okay. I'm very interested in this one. I think the last 3 movies to come out with Andy Serkis doing the voice of Caesar were all great. I feel like they really updated the special effects compared to the first one, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. When you really take the time to update your effects compared to the movie that pretty much started this reboot of the franchise, then you know you're doing something right. I think this is gonna carry on the legacy that the last trilogy did, because it looks like they're bringing back in Raka from the last movie. So I think they're gonna make a few references, but I think it's also gonna try to be its own thing. Do I think you might want to see the other movies before seeing this one? I feel like maybe just getting the general idea what the other movies were before you go see this one. Just an overall summary of what happens. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. I will go watch this movie and I'll come back and give you my general thoughts. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is directed by Wes Ball and is the latest installment in the Planet of the Apes franchise. Many years after the reign of Caesar, a young ape goes on a journey that will lead him to question everything he's been taught about the past and make choices that will define a future for apes and humans alike. Now, before I dive into this new movie, I should give my thoughts on the previous movies. Now, I'm not talking about the earlier movies, but the more recent ones starring Andy Serkis. I think they're all great. I like the setup, I like the acting, the action scenes, the music. This might be one of my favorite trilogies to come out in recent memory. The last one, War for the Planet of the Apes, came out in 2017, was probably one of the most satisfying conclusions to a trilogy I've seen. You really get behind the character of Caesar, and you see see a lot of character development from him as the movies go along and what kind of leader he was. Now this new movie comes out and I was very excited for it. I was wondering if it would live up to the expectations of the other 3 movies. And I must admit, a lot of it exceeded my expectations. I think the one thing I liked the most was the special effects. The apes you see look real, and adding in facial expressions just make it even better. It almost reminds me of Aslan from the Narnia movies, where they give the creatures realistic looks, but also give them facial features to work with. I think that was phenomenal. I also love the acting in this movie. Everyone did their job well, especially Owen Teague as Noah. He thinks he knows everything there is to know about the world, but slowly learns there is more to this world than he thinks. Another thing I thought was interesting was how he always seeks approval from his family and tries to showcase his courage, like most young adults do. While that trope isn't anything new, there was a lot of charm and depth to this character. I actually welcomed those tropes. I also really enjoyed Freya Allen in this movie. Her character is very silent, doesn't say much at the beginning when she's on the run. I wasn't sure that when she did talk, then it would start to drag the movie down. But I must admit, when she does start talking, it does get a lot better. You understand her motive and why she wants things to go back to the way things were before the virus from the first movie took over. This movie also had a great deal of conflict within itself. You can feel the tension between the characters on what is right and what is wrong. Should humans trust apes? Should apes trust humans? I must admit, around the 3rd act, I was really torn on who is really in the right here after some discoveries are made by our characters. Why the humans want to protect what the apes are after, and why the apes don't want to go back to the way things originally were before they took over the planet. Honestly, if you haven't felt conflicted on what should happen after seeing this, honestly, I gotta applaud you, because I wanted to see what would come out of this. I also want to talk about the villain, Proximus, played by Kevin Durand. This is a villain you would love to hate. He takes the ideas stated previously in the other movies by Caesar and twists them to make it seem like humans are weak and apes were the far superior species all along, making him out to be a tyrannical ruler. This movie is also clever in giving us more ape versus ape action rather than seeing apes versus humans. We do have some interesting conversations between the humans and the apes, especially with an appearance by William H. Macy. But the main idea is now apes are in control of the world while humans appear to be the secondary species. I will say, for a movie that's 2.5 hours, it really doesn't feel like that. It does start off slow, but after a little bit, then it starts to pick up fast and we buckle in for the ride. If you're not a fan of slow-paced stories, then this movie may not be for you. I personally didn't mind it, as I was so invested in not only the characters, but the world building this movie had to offer. This movie was a visual treat. From the special effects on the characters to all the background scenery, everything just felt real. I do have an issue with the movie, and that's the final battle. I just felt like it was a little anticlimactic, and it just ends, and it makes me think, wait, it's over already? But thankfully, everything that happened after that final battle makes up for it, as it tries to set up a sequel, as it hopes to dive into the more complicated relationship between the humans and these creatures that have developed massive intelligence. I will say another thing I wasn't a fan of was I wish we got more of Proximus in this movie. He was a good villain, but I kind of wish we got more of a backstory from him, as we don't see him until, I want to say, close to the middle or end of the 2nd act to the 3rd act. But those are my only issues. In the end, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was great. It had great performances, which led to a lot of likable characters, some stunning special effects, a really good story with some cool twists added to it, and it just makes me want more. I hope we get a sequel to this, because I definitely want to see what happens next. My grade for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes will be an A-. Thank you all for watching this review. I hope you all enjoyed it. Until next time, this is Will Brolick, and I will see you at the movies. Save a seat for me.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.